Okay, we're both NFC North team fans. We've both been destroying the Lions for many, 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 many years.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Rivalz podcast, a podcast where two friends who are fans of rival teams talk about sports. We're your hosts, Drew and Noah, and today we'll be talking about different NFL topics from around the league. Here, coming on screen, you can see our schedule for today. We'll be talking about three different topics. The Pro Bowl, which was canceled this year due to COVID, but they still celebrated them, so we'll talk about the lineups. The recent Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff trade that was huge between the Rams and Lions. And then today we'll be talking about the NFL awards to wrap things up.
Yep.
So, the NFL honors. So, here, we'll start things off by going to the Pro Bowl rosters.
Here are this is the offense for both
sides, the
teams.
AFC and NFC.
Yep.
The starters, obviously, we put a star next to them for their names.
Yeah. We have for the AFC. We'll say the AFC starters are Patrick Mahomes, obviously, as one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Derrick Henry, Patrick Ricard, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Travis Kelce, Darren Waller, Eric Fisher, Laramie Tunzel, Joel Bitonio, Quentin Nelson, Marquise Pouncey. Yep,
Yeah.
and that's it.
So we just counted Travis Kelce and Darren Waller because obviously both tight ends are only two tight ends in each league. Obviously, Travis Kelce the only starter, but Darren Waller obviously still great, so that's why I'm mentioning him. And here I'll talk about the NFC offense. The starters are Aaron Rodgers, Dalvin Cook, Kyle Juszczyk, Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, T.J. Hawkinson, Evan Ingram, David Bakhtiari, Trent Williams, Brandon Scherf, Elton Jenkins, and Jason Kelce. So,
there's a lot of nice connections on the teams. Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, good one. Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams. As Viking and Packers fans, we see a few players on this list.
Yeah, and here, just not a little bit of a bias, but two players, we just decided to pick two players that if we could have one more on our team, who would it be? And for the Vikings, we chose Eric Kendricks.
Yeah.
When he played, he was really good.
Injury really took a part of his season, so I think if he would have played all the games, he would have been a harder choice, a lot of harder choice.
And then over on the Packers side, Robert Tonyan, the whole league. How I'm not going to diss on Evan Ingram. He's had other good seasons, but this season, how could you not put Tonyan in the Pro Bowl?
Even as I agree, he got snubbed.
11 touchdowns, and Evan Ingram only had, one maybe, and not many yards.
Yeah, I mean, it's fans voting, so.
I'm not too unhappy because the Packers were tied for the most with 7 Pro Bowl appearances this year. So, we're not going to talk too much about the offense here. Move on to the defense over here, the AFC and the NFC defense. I'll go through the starters for AFC. Joey Bosa and Myles Garrett for defensive end. Defensive tackle, Cameron Hayward and Chris Jones. Outside linebacker, Bradley Chubb for the Broncos and T.J. Watt for the Steelers. Inside linebacker, Darius Leonard. Cornerback, Xavier Howard. He was a beast this year, along with Tre'Davious White. And free safety, Minkah Fitzpatrick for the Steelers. And then strong safety, we have Tyrann Mathieu.
Yep, that was, I think none of these picks are too controversial.
They all deserved it.
Yeah, I mean, highlighting the defense would probably be like T.J. Watt, Aaron Donald. I mean, not Aaron Donald, sorry. We're not on NFC yet. Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Highlighting those would be good. NFC defense, we have At defensive end, Cameron Jordan, Brandon Graham. At defensive tackle, we have Aaron Donald, Fletcher Cox. Outside linebacker, Zadarius Smith, Khalil Mack. Inside linebacker, we have Bobby Wagner. Cornerbacks, we have Jalen Ramsey and Jair Alexander. Free safety, we have Quandre Diggs. And strong safety, we have Budda Baker.
Yeah, and none of the defense was controversial at all. Obviously, only one we really could have thought of for the NFC was Eric Kendricks, but at the same time, the people who made it are completely deserving.
Yeah, I mean, Kendricks would really only be. I mean, I don't think, in my opinion, Kendricks wasn't snubbed since he didn't play all the games this year. He was injured for, I think, a quarter of the season, so.
But he still could have been in, but, I mean, not too controversial.
I mean, Fred Warner and Bobby Wagner obviously deserve it.
So that headlines the defense and offense. And before we go on to our next topic, you gotta talk about the special teams.
The special teams, you know, underappreciated sometimes by the league.
Something the Packers do not have.
Yeah. Yeah, same thing with the Vikings. Our special teams is not great this year.
So, yeah. And AFC, we're not really going to talk about stats about these guys. Justin Tucker, no surprise.
Yeah. And, you know.
The legend for the Patriots, who's been great for many years. NFC side, Cordell Patterson, even with different teams, still considered the best kick returner in football.
Young Ho Koo. I think that's how you say his name. On the Falcons, kicker. Really great kicker, actually.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Moving on. We didn't want to bore you with the whole Pro Bowl stuff.
So, that's the 2021 Pro Bowl roster.
Now, we move on to a blockbuster deal coming through this weekend.
We made a video a week ago, and it was saying where the quarterbacks could go. We did Matthew Stafford. And it turns out we were completely wrong.
Okay. Partly.
Yeah, we said he could go to the Patriots, possibly. And it turns out the one team he didn't want to go to was the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
But like we said, it was an opinion based on some facts and logic. But we could see why. Obviously, wasn't a big fan of Matt Patricia. Now he's going back to New England.
But we did say that the Colts and the 49ers would be their second and third options, I think. And but it came out that after the trade, Matthew Stafford's preferred places was 1, San Francisco, and 2, Indianapolis Colts. So I mean, we were partly right, partly wrong. You could take it either way.
Matthew Stafford wanted to go to San Francisco, obviously his number one choice. But the Rams offered him more money and better deal, so that's why he took it. And now the other half of the deal, Jared Goff going to the Lions. Obviously, he knows some of the personnel very well who came over from the Rams. And Jared Goff obviously had one great season, led the team to the Super Bowl, was one of the best teams in the NFL, and he hasn't been the same since. But there's not much you can say. He's an NFL quarterback who still has a job. He's going to be the Lions quarterback for the next few years, maybe even his whole career. Who knows? But
okay.
The future for these two teams, Lions. Here's what I'm going to say, not to hurt any teams, just not to break anyone's hearts. But the Lions, I don't see them becoming a playoff contender for the next 2 to 3 years, even after this pickup.
Okay, hold on. I just want to say something really quick. I think this is just my opinion. I mean, people can have their own. I think the Rams completely lost this trade.
Oh, I agree. The Rams, there's nothing else you can say.
They gave up 2 first-round picks and a third-round pick and Jared Goff for Matthew Stafford. And the reason why I'm emphasizing this so much, it came out that the 49ers it was almost a done deal. 49ers offered a trade, and it was 2 second-round picks and 2 third-round picks. The Rams, Alright, okay. I'm just going to say right now, Matthew Stafford is not worth 2 first-round picks, Jared Goff, and a third-round pick.
No, not in the late stages of his career.
I mean,
maybe
earlier in his career, definitely worth that. But, I mean...
So, yeah, obviously, in ways, win-win trade, because Jared Goff knows part of the personnel over in Detroit. But at the same time, he's not worth that. I don't know why I guess they just really wanted him. So...
Also, I mean, it's a win-win trade because Matthew Stafford... He's still good. He's just not he won't be a long-term quarterback, I think, because of his age. But, yeah. I mean, that's a win-now quarterback, and I think the Rams can do something next year with him. Yeah, so that's basically the future for the Rams. I could see the Rams continuing to make the playoffs each year, Super Bowl contender. I wouldn't put them there yet, again, but I would put them very close. They just need a few more pieces on the offensive side. Their defense is set. Over on the offensive side, though, if they get their pieces they need, I think they could be one of the biggest threats of the league. Meanwhile, the Lions. Obviously, I just want to hear your opinion on this because before I state mine, just hear, what do you think? Okay, the Lions. You're getting a future quarterback. A quarterback for your future, You're getting, the picks were an absolute win for them. I think the trade, I think if they took out the 2 first-round picks, I think that would have been a valid trade. But, no. But, they got 2 extra first-round picks. Their future is looking, depending on how good the Rams are in these next few years, I think the Lions... we're both NFC North team fans. We've both been destroying the Lions for many, 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 many years. Yeah, obviously the Lions, some cases they beat us multiple times, but they're not a threat. It's been years since they've made the playoffs. I don't see them making it until maybe if they can make a big trade or sign a big free agent. Maybe in 2024 or 5. 2-3 years, I could see them being a 9-10 wins team, barely squeaking into the playoffs. But at the moment, the Rams won this trade. So I'm sorry to all you Lions fans. The Rams won this trade. I think the Lions won this trade, to be honest. In a way, the Lions won this trade. For the quarterback, the Rams won this trade. Yeah, okay. Quarterback-wise, Rams won, but I think the Rams gave up too much. Yes. So, that's the big trade that happened Saturday evening. So basically, now we're moving on to the main topic for today's episode, which is the awards. Our opinion on who should win the awards. Some of them are a toss-up, some of them are just, for us, a done deal. Yeah, but here we go. With the most prized award of them all, and that's the MVP award. This one I am personally happy about because Aaron Rodgers, he's the heavy favorite. I could see how people want Patrick Mahomes to win, but Aaron Rodgers, the stats don't lie. 48 touchdowns for 4,000 yards. Only 5 interceptions, and he also led the Packers to a 13-3 season, back-to-back. So, but this year, he's been great. Best season of his career by far. Mm-hmm. And which is crazy. It's at his old age as well. And after last season, where the NFL was worried, is he done? He's suddenly the MVP. So, there's no argument. He's going to win it. Now, after the Packers lost, I didn't want him to win it, but based on the regular season, he's the winner. Yeah, the Packers, maybe he had a big motivation from the Packers drafting a quarterback instead of a receiver in the first round. Jordan Love, maybe he could become the best quarterback ever if they play him, but that was just not a great decision. But I think, Rodgers had a chip on his shoulder this season. He was pretty great. He wanted to prove to everyone that he's not done yet. Fortunately, in my opinion, the Packers lost. But unfortunately for Packers fans, and Rodgers, they lost in the postseason. to Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Could have had a trip to the Super Bowl, but couldn't pull it out.
Aaron Rodgers, the MVP winner this year, probably. And here now, next award we have Coach of the Year. This one is debatable, but
I mean, we think Kevin Stefanski.
Over from Minnesota, the old defensive coordinator, and now the Browns, they go from 6-10 to 11-5.
Yeah, he brought a franchise that went 0-16 in recent years and to the playoffs and beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, how could you not? First playoff appearance since 2002, first playoff win since 1994.
That's 27 years since they've won a playoff.
As a Vikings fan, I am absolutely furious that we released this man.
Yeah,
for Gary Kubiak.
It proves what a good coach he is. He could build the Browns into a dynasty if they figure everything out, and he continues his great coaching.
Oh my, yeah,
we'll just keep this award brief, but obviously other person we thought about putting here is Ron Rivera. Obviously dealt with cancer in the fall, but I mean,
great story.
A great story. He led his team to the division win, but he was in the NFC East division, and their team wasn't great.
I mean, Washington football team has multiple great stories, and we'll talk about the other one soon. But
that's why we put Kevin Stefanski.
Okay, moving on to Offensive Player of the Year. We can't really decide right now. We're leaning. Okay, well, all right. The two people are Devontae Adams and King Henry, Derrick Henry.
Yeah. So even as a Packers fan, I'm leaning towards Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I mean, 2,000 yards on the season.
Oh yeah, 17 touchdowns and 2,000 yards.
5.4 average yards per carry. That's just amazing.
He had multiple 200-yard games.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, I'm leaning toward him, but I mean, I guess you never know.
You can make an argument that Devontae Adams could win.
You could.
Receiver winning it. He had a beast season.
But yeah, Derrick Henry, man. Okay. I mean, Devontae Adams' stats you can see are absolutely amazing too. 115 receptions, 1,374 yards, 18 touchdowns, and 11.9 average yards per catch.
Yeah, but the fact is that we can't really decide, officially, because you never know. The NFL it's hard to decide, because the NFL, we've had it years where you think this guy's going to win this award. They don't. It goes some other way. This is one of the closer ones.
I mean,
but it could go Derrick Henry's way completely, or it could go completely Devontae Adams' way. So
yeah. All right, now we're moving on to Defensive Player of the Year. We have only one person here, and we're gonna go with T.J. Watt. Monster year with the Steelers. They went 11-0, and then in the beginning of the season, and then kind of.
Yeah.
You could say fell off, but I mean.
But even when they started falling off like that, losing 4 of 5 in the regular season, and he was still a force to be reckoned with. He was unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean, you can make the argument that he had so much help on the Steelers that's why he's good. But really, he made the Steelers defense good because of him. 15 sacks, 43 QB pressures, 2 forced fumbles, 1 interception, 53 tackles. Just
if you look at the year, look at Cameron Hayward's stats. I'm just bringing up another Steelers player to put praise on T.J. Watt. He had one of his best seasons of his career. Cameron Hayward did. Want to know why? It's because T.J. Watt was forced to be double teamed most times. That opened it up for Cameron Hayward to be on a one-on-one with a young, and he pushed through. He's a pro player. Both of these guys are. And that's why T.J. Watt, that's just one reason. And 15 sacks. Led the league. And he even had an interception as a person who every time blitzes most of the time.
Yeah,
Overnight.
I mean, you could. I mean, if you don't really know, if you haven't watched any Steelers game, I mean, yeah, he is a linebacker, but not he basically barely ever goes in coverage. I mean, he has an interception.
That's all.
Yeah, he was just unstoppable. He was like Aaron. I mean, Aaron Donald was the second candidate, I think, actually Xavier Howard too.
Yeah, Xavier Howard and Aaron Donald. You can make an argument for both those guys.
But in our opinion, we got T.J. Watt.
You could have made an argument a few weeks ago or a few months ago. T.J. Watt just kept it up through the season, consistent. His stats are better than anyone. He's going to win Defensive Player of the Year.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the brother duo, J.J. Watt is one of the best defensive players in the NFL, and T.J. Watt is one of the. I mean, that's a crazy family.
Yeah, he's matching him.
And you can never forget Derek Watt. Derek Watt is still pretty good. I mean, he's not.
Yeah, it's a fullback, so not noticed, but what a family.
Moving on to Offensive Rookie of the Year / Rookie of the Year. We say this because whoever wins Rookie of the Year out of these two, the other one's probably going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. So, yeah. So we have...
You can take the lead on this one. I just want to listen to you because...
yeah. We have Justin Jefferson, Vikings wide receiver to replace Stephon Diggs. I mean, he had big shoes to fill, and he filled them. I mean, he just went crazy this season as a rookie. 1,400 yards, breaking the rookie record for yards by a receiver, breaking Randy Moss's former Vikings record, for that matter, and 88 receptions, 7 touchdowns, 15.9 yards average. Yards per catch average. 7, you might be thinking, 7 touchdowns, that's not amazing. That's because this man would get us he would catch like a 40-yard pass right into the red zone, and Adam Thielen would catch it in the red zone. I'm pretty sure Adam Thielen had the most touchdowns in the red zone, or targets, something like that, by a receiver. And and the crazy thing is he's sharing his targets with Adam Thielen. So yeah. And then we're going to Justin Herbert. His season stats: 31 touchdowns, 4,336 yards.
The reason Justin Herbert, the reason we were debating who these guys are, most of the world thinks Justin Herbert should win. There seems to be a bias for rookie any award that it should be a quarterback.
Yeah. At least I think that Justin Jefferson should absolutely win Rookie of the Year, but there's always a bias toward quarterbacks in the NFL. I'm just hoping this one time Jefferson can win it.
Yes.
Anyway.
Those are the two candidates for Rookie of the Year and Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
So now we'll go to Defensive Rookie of the Year, and we don't have to talk too much about him.
Chase
There's
Young,
no question.
Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Coming from Ohio State as the number 2 pick, and he didn't let down anybody.
He came in as a rookie and became the leader of the defense, of Washington's defense, which is, maybe you can see, you wouldn't have to, he was just he had a presence that looked like a veteran, even though it was his first year as a rookie.
Yeah.
Season stats: he had 7.5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, 44 tackles, 12 assists, assisted tackles. But 4 forced fumbles is crazy. 7.5 sacks is really good for a rookie. And the runner-up to him was Jeremy Chin, and he's on the Panthers. He's a cornerback, and he had the viral play against my Vikings, where he was the first person in NFL history to get back-to-back scoop and scores on back-to-back plays, scoop and scores, that was pretty crazy. Even though they lost that game, pretty cool thing to have as a rookie. Yeah, so I mean, not much to talk about really. Chase Young had a great season, amazing season. Yeah, but moving on, this is one of the best stories in the NFL, maybe in history. It's comeback player of the year. Everyone knows it. Alex Smith. Yeah, I mean, Alex Smith was just he could have died really with that injury. His leg was just, man. I don't know if any of you have seen the pictures. I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, if you're sensitive to, like, graphic, like, gory stuff, kind of, I wouldn't recommend looking it up. Basically, his leg his leg had a major injury, then it got infected, and he was gonna get, his leg was gonna be amputated, but he powered through it, came back this season, and led the football team to the playoffs.
They were the second worst team in football last year.
Yep.
And his stats aren't the best. The fact that he had one touchdown, the fact that he had a completion, the fact that he had any yards is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you could say, oh, Washington only made the playoffs because they were in the NFC least. Well, yeah. I mean, it's not even if they're in the NFC East. I mean, he could have. He was never supposed to play football again.
Yeah, and obviously you can't say anything because if he was on the Chiefs, they'd say 100% he should win comeback player of the year. Obviously, everyone is saying that, but since he was on the football team,
I mean, yeah, you have to have tremendous respect for this guy. He's just, I mean, that's crazy. That's 2 players on the Washington football team who went through almost life-ending things this year.
Yes.
But
yeah, so
through.
We don't really have any other awards to talk about, so
we're probably gonna end it off here.
Yeah.
It was a fun episode. I mean, we talked about a lot of the awards. This week's Super Bowl week, so we'll have a Super Bowl preview probably coming out on Wednesday, and we'll have our weekly NBA episode
on Thursday. And then next week we'll start going to 2 episodes a week. So
yeah, next week we'll do on two episodes a week. Monday will be
reaction.
Yeah, and Monday will be NFL. Thursday will be NBA.
So yeah, thank you all for watching.
We'll
see you next time.
Yeah, see ya.
Bye.